This is Continuum Drag, a podcast where we watch sci-fi, fantasy, and everything in between.
This week, Swamp Thing, episodes 5 and 6.
Who are you? Just a passing stranger, maybe a phantom from a dream, trying to help you understand the things you already know.
Welcome to Continuum Drag, the podcast blasting its blue flames into the green. I'm Luke, here with my co-host Jordan. What's real, Jordan?
I like on these shows where it's indeterminate what his powers are, and it feels like every episode they're like, what if he does this? What if he could grab a tree?
It's early days. It's early days to say what his powers can be. He's used very few of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Mostly it's been punch. That's his big power.
Well, it's like, if it works, why not? Use your old swampy fingers. Punch away.
I mean, I like some of those things we saw this episode, so we'll get into it in a second. But Jordan, I think you have a segment for us.
I do. I came up with a little game. I've got a lot of categories, so I feel like I'll pull it short depending on how much you're liking or disliking it. But the game is called Most Likely To.
28 minutes later.
Yeah, 28 minutes later, exactly. So what it is I'm going to give you a scenario, and you can pick any character from the show that you think this scenario most applies to, and you can use people more than once because it's not that large a cast. So it will make itself very evident as we go through.
All right, good. I'm still a little confused, so I'm looking forward to this.
So as just a reminder of the characters in this show, the major characters are Abby Arcane. We have Maria Sunderland. By the way, I didn't know her name was Maria.
Isn't it
Alec
Sutherland?
Holland. Oh, maybe it's Sutherland. No, it's Sunderland. I have Sunderland written.
It's Sunderland?
Yeah, that's what I have written down.
Interesting.
Alec Holland, Swamp Thing. I have them separate. Matt Cable, Liz Tremaine, Xanadu, Avery Sunderland, Lucilla Cable, and Jason Witchew. Anyways, there's some people. You don't really have to remember them, but I'll give you some scenarios, and you tell me who you think is most likely to be doing this scenario. Okay?
Right.
Okay. The first one, most likely to not shower after visiting the swamp.
Well, obviously, we know who that is. It's
Who do you
Alec
think
Holland.
I guess so. I guess it's Alec. Do you think he even washed his feet?
Who did you think? Who did you think it was?
I think it would be Alec, obviously.
I mean, I assume there's a right answer to these.
Well, it doesn't have to be. It's whatever you feel.
He wears sandals into the swamp. He doesn't care.
Second one, most likely to cry after getting drunk.
Most likely to cry after getting drunk. I guess probably, I hate to say it, but it's probably Maria Sunderland. She's pretty weepy in the show.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good guess. My first guess would have been Abby, but I think you might have a better pick.
They don't give her much to do but kind of be angry and or weepy.
And lay in bed a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Another one, most likely to be arrested for indecent exposure.
Most likely to be arrested for indecent exposure. Well, I mean, Swamp Thing is nude all the time.
I know.
Put on some pants, Swamp Thing. I don't want to see that swamp hog anymore.
Jeez. Is that in canon? Is it called the Swamp Hog?
I assume that's canon. You're the one who reads the DC comics. I'm sure it's
I think it was in the Alan Moore days he referred to it as that. Most likely to be the life of the party.
Most likely the life of the party. I mean, probably. Does Avery Sunderland count? Because he's going to be really just trying to get. He wants to be center of the room. Yeah. I'm going to put him there.
It counts. It's not going to be Abby. She's such a downer. Most likely to become a recluse in the swamp.
Most likely to become a recluse in the swamp. I mean, Swamp Thing is already doing that, but is there a better pick? I mean, Xanadu maybe, but she does seem to like to be in people's business. So,
well, I think Swamp Thing's the most likely because
he is already
there,
a recluse
but he doesn't seem like
swamp.
But he doesn't seem like he wants to be there. You know?
Yeah, he'd love to be dancing on that dance floor with Abby, cutting a rug.
That's exactly right. Next
we
one.
Never answered that one, but we'll move on.
It doesn't really matter. It's not. They're not real.
None of this is real.
None of this is real. Who is the most likely to sleepwalk?
Most likely to sleepwalk. These are crazy, man. These are crazy questions. Most likely to sleepwalk. I'm going to go. Who haven't I used yet? Maybe Cassidy. Maybe he's got a sleep apnea machine we don't see.
Cassidy? All right. Most
what?
likely.
Well, who do you pick?
I don't know. I'm going to say sleepwalk.
Letting you move on.
Well, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say Abby because her dreams are like a real plot line, or her memories.
Oh, that's
anyways.
true. That is true. A lot of memory dreams.
Yeah.
You know how you have all those memory dreams, Jordan, of things that happen to you?
I just call them dreams, but we can call them memory dreams.
Do you have dreams of like exact events that have occurred in your life though? That's never happened to me.
I have no. Everything's obviously a little heightened, but I have like you mean like really standard like get up and go to work sort of dream.
No, but I mean she's always having these dreams about like things that happened in her past, like that she like thinks about a lot.
Oh no, I don't think anyone has that. That's a real TV
That's a
TV
TV
invention.
thing. You don't dream about that high school prom you had?
I do not dream about that high school prom I had. I'm glad that's coming up again. No, but I'm most likely to cry about it after,
Oh,
Yeah,
couple drinks and you're weeping.
that's right. Most likely to fake their own kidnapping.
Most likely to fake their own kidnapping. Interesting. I am gonna go. I hate doing this, but it's not. I'm gonna blame the writing and not my personal biases. I say Maria Sunderland again, just because I feel like it just feels like that'd be a plot line she'd have. Where
I'm gonna say
drum up some drama.
Liz, her friend.
Liz, interesting.
Yeah.
I almost said Liz, but I feel like she's too upstanding for that.
Yeah, I tell you what she would do is badly act her way through it.
Oh,
I know.
shots fired.
That's terrible. It's actually not fair to any of the actors.
She's on Reacher now. She's doing great.
Good for her. It's the material. I know it's the material. It's not the actor's fault. Who's most likely to win a pie eating contest?
Most likely to eat a pie eating contest. Win a pie eating contest. I think it is probably. Oh, it's definitely Matt. It's Matt, the cop.
Matt. Yeah, you think so, huh?
And I just feel like he's born in that small town. I think he's been in a few pie eating contests. I think he knows what he's doing.
I'm gonna go with Jason Woodrue because he's a big guy, and I feel like he could fit a lot of pie in there.
You think he's a big guy, Dr. Woodrue?
Oh, I know for a fact he's a big guy.
Well, you've worked with him before, but
Oh, he's a very large man.
all right. Well, he doesn't come off on the show.
Yeah.
He's acting really well. He seems smaller to me on the show.
I'll do a few more. Most likely to flirt their way out of a speeding ticket.
Abby, she could do it.
Agreed. It's got to be
No
Abby.
problem. She's got that charm.
Most likely to go on a reality show.
Most likely. Oh, it's Alec. It's Alec Holland. He's desperate for attention. He fakes all those lab results so people would like him.
You know what? I wasn't going to agree with you till you mentioned the lab results. I'm on your side now. I agree.
It's a baked-in character flaw.
Most likely to win at a casino.
Most likely to win at a casino. Well, that's that. I mean, that's just luck. It's luck.
Oh, I
But
disagree.
maybe-
I think it's Avery.
I think it's Woodrow. I think it's Dr. Woodrow. I think he can count cards because he's so smart.
Oh, hey, maybe. Most likely to faint at the sight of blood.
Faint at the sight of blood. I am gonna go with Swamp Thing
Yeah, Swamp Thing.
because I think he has. In fact, when he punched that guy, when he ripped that guy into shreds, I think he fainted.
He does get very upset at the carnage and mayhem he causes.
He pulled that guy to pieces. I think he actually fainted after, and he like just passed right out.
I'll get two more. Most likely to sleep naked.
Most likely to sleep naked. Oh, who are we imagining sleeping naked, Jordan?
Oh, I mean, again,
It's Cassidy. It's Cassidy, by the way.
it's a little unfair because Swamp Thing doesn't have
Clothes
doesn't have
already.
that question. But
What would we see if we saw him sleeping naked, though, Jordan?
probably that old swamp hog. Am I right? I'd pick Matt Cable actually.
Matt Cable. Interesting. I think he lives at home with his mom, though. I don't think he would.
From what we've seen, she might also sleep naked.
Heyo.
Hey-oh. I was gonna say, talking about a swamp hog. Am I right? And finally, most likely on a down note, most likely to end up alone.
I like that you're ending this on a down note.
Yeah.
Most likely to end up alone. I'm going with Alec Holland.
Oh, I'm gonna go with poor Swamp Thing, just walking around the swamp, vining it up.
I don't know. He's got all those animals he can be friends with.
That's true. That's true.
Like he's really the Snow White of the DC universe.
Again, it's canon. And that's how you play most likely to.
What a weird idea, Jordan. And I actually like it. I like it. Just picking random topics and just seeing which characters are the most likely.
We'll bring it back.
You'll forget the minute this is over.
You're exactly right.
Never to return.
And you'll be like, "Hey, do you want to play that game again?" And I'm like, "Who? What? Where now?"
What game? All right, let's get into it. Here's the IMDb summary for episode 5, Drive All Night. Well, Abby tries to find a cure for Alec. She's haunted by her childhood friend's ghost who reemerges from the swamp. Alec struggles to come to terms with his transformation with the help of a mysterious phantom stranger.
A couple quick things just to start. First, this is barely a Swamp Thing episode. Of all the episodes, Swamp Thing's like tangential at best to this episode. Like, it's bizarre how little he's in this episode. Like, it shouldn't be called Swamp Thing. That's the first thing I'll say. And the second thing is, do you remember last week, last time we recorded, there was a Bruce Springsteen song was the title.
Correct.
Again, Drive All Night, another Bruce Springsteen song. But I'm like, why? What are they trying to tell us? This has nothing to do with Springsteen other than, do they just like Springsteen? They're like, that'd be a fun title. Because what does Drive All Night have to do with this episode? Nothing.
No, I mean, nothing. But isn't his whole, like, bag that he's small town America?
Yeah, he's like a New Jersey kid who made it, But I don't know.
I think that's maybe what that was trying
swamp.
to lead into. We're just like, small town America, the swamp.
Maybe. You know what? It's as good a guess as any.
I mean, maybe the creator just loves some Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, and
he's got to play it in the writer's room all the time.
And based on this episode, they do not love Swamp Thing because he's not in it.
Well, if we're going to get into it, it was hard. I had to break this down. Like, what is the main plot of this episode?
Yeah.
Tough to nail in. I think the main plot is the orphan Susie and Abby's backstory finally coming to the forefront. I think that's probably the main plot. So I'm going to start us there, and then we'll reverse and run through the several other plot lines that run unintersected through the rest of the episode.
Okay.
Basically, Susie, the orphan, has moved in with the Sunderlands, apparently. We'll have to double-check that later with our fact-checkers. Our fact-checkers will get on that. And while she's there, she's moved in. She's staying in the dead daughter's room. And while she's there, the ghost of the dead daughter just possesses her. So now the dead daughter is just living inside the orphan.
And we didn't have any indication this was A, her plan, and B, that she had this ability, right?
I mean, I don't think this was a plan necessarily, but it is just suddenly like a new thing that's available that this ghost has possessed this little girl.
It does feel a little bit like they were like, we got to do something with this ghost. We keep hinting at she's like around the house. She's haunting. What is she going to do? And it's like, this is it. And you're like, oh, okay. I guess that's something.
I mean, it makes more sense why they adopted her plot-wise now. Like, they needed to get someone in the house for the ghost to possess. But Abby goes to do a welfare check on the little girl after the adoption. And they have a long scene where Abby's talking to this orphan who is just like, not even like beating around the bush that like, I'm your dead friend who's possessed this girl, but like really like laying it on pretty thick. And Abby just takes way, way too long to believe this ghost is possessing this little girl.
Yeah, it's like she has to keep dropping more and more information that only Abby would know. And then she's like, wait a minute. And then after like 4 minutes, she's like, I get it. Okay.
Well, at some point, like, she just won't buy it. And at some point, the little girl pukes up a full live eel and then quickly becomes the corpse of her best friend in front of her eyes. And she's still like, because she, like, storms out. Because, like, this is actually, the sequence is fun. It's, like, lots of good ghost stuff happening. There's lots of, like, crazy, weird ghost stuff. But then Abby, like, storms out of the room and then finds Virginia Madison. And she's like, you're putting that little girl up to pretend to be your dead daughter, aren't you? I'm like, she just spit up a live eel. What do you mean? What do you mean? You're like, it's just like the amount of stuff she sees and still's just like, I don't believe you're a ghost.
On a slightly different note, there's something you just mentioned, and it reminded me of something that I felt really specifically in these two episodes, which is you said, oh, and she leaves and she bumps into Virginia Madsen's character. There's something very small about everything in this world, and I think partially intentionally and partially not, whereas characters are always just available. Like, they're always, like, if you're at the hospital, all the characters are always at the hospital. If you're at the bar, the characters are all at the bar. No one has to go anywhere, and it's like this weird, I always feel like very constricted and tight, where it's like, it's just this weird convenient thing where everyone is always where they need to be just because of the plot, and it's like they're desperate to not show someone traveling or having to have that conversation. Like, well, how would they know where that person is? They're like, oh, they're just there. They're in the closet.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it is, it stands out particularly when you're watching something where you can really see the plot mechanics at work.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's mostly happening here is like people are where they need to be because they just need to make this thing go forward. And you can feel it at a lot of them. Like basically after this confrontation with Virginia Madison over like you're making that little girl pretend to be a ghost who can like puke up things and turn
which
into
makes no
corpses.
sense, by the way.
It makes no sense. Like way too much stuff that proves she's a ghost. Abby storms off to leave, and when she steps out of the Sutherland's place and walks to the gate, and Madame Xanadu is just standing there. She's like, "Hey, it's me. I just happened to be walking by. Good thing, because we need to talk." I'm like, "What?"
It's really weird, and it's like scene after scene of like that where they're like turn around, like, "Oh, hey, there you are. Anyways, let's continue this conversation that we really need to have right now."
She leaves the house. The possessed orphan girl comes out, and she tells Virginia Madison, she's like, "Hey, I can't stay in this body for very long. I've got a limited amount of time I can be in here. Why? Who knows? It's just plot mechanics. So if you want to get together with your dead daughter again forever, why don't you come down to the swamp and we'll die together in the swamp, and then you can be with your daughter forever." And I was like, okay. I guess that was the plan?
Yeah, it's like, I guess it works with her being still so distraught with grief as to what's happened. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. But I don't know. It's like,
it just
good
also
enough.
Wasn't like the ghost never implied that was the plan up till now. So it was kind of like, oh, so this is why you've been appearing the whole time. So Maria Sutherland will drown herself in the swamp.
Yeah, I'd be interested if you went back, if you could see any of these motivations, laid out. But I have a feeling you wouldn't, because it seemed like a lot. Remember that one episode she's like, "Don't take that from Dad." And I was like, what did that have to do with anything? But she was like, she didn't want her parents arguing and stuff. I'm like, that doesn't seem part of the plot.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, you need to have something spooky happening, but it was also just like, the ghost has been appearing to her for a while now. This is the first I'm hearing of this drown yourself in the swamp thing.
Usually that comes up right off the bat.
Yeah. Anyway, Abby and Madame Xanadu are outside the house just chit-chatting about, like, Madame Xanadu's like, "Hey, did you notice how that little girl's possessed by a real ghost?" And she's like, "Oh, is that what's going on?"
That's right.
And they see Virginia Madison pack the little girl up into her SUV and drive off. They're like, "Well, we better follow her into the swamp." And they go to the swamp. There's a sequence where the ghost daughter like appears in the water, and she's like, "Come out here with me, Maria Sutherland." And she like starts to drown her, and Abby like jumps in the swamp to try to help. But then they start beefing over like how is it Abby's fault she killed the dead daughter. And then the ghost really starts drowning Virginia Madison in the swamp. Or I keep going back and forth. Maria Sunderland, Virginia Madison, whatever. Swamp Thing arrives. He saves her. And you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. When Swamp Thing finally saves Virginia Madison, like carries her out of the swamp.
Yeah.
Is that a recreation of the original Swamp Thing movie? Is that a shot from the original Swamp Thing movie? Because it's shot in such a specific way that I was like, I think this is maybe a callback they're trying to make to that movie she's in. Because she's in the first Swamp Thing movie, right?
Virginia Madison's not.
Is she not in the original Swamp Thing movie?
No, I don't think so. What's her name? I cannot remember her name now. But I mean, they might have been doing an O2. I'd have to see the scene again to see what it looks like. It's it's what's her face. It's gonna kill me. I'll remember her name while we keep talking.
I'm looking it up right now because I want to know too.
The 1982 or whatever movie, right? It's
Thank you. That'll help me find it. Oh, you're right. You know what? I assumed it was her, so I thought it was a callback to that. But it is actually Adrienne Barbeau.
That's right. Yeah, and then Heather Locklear in the not very good sequel.
Right. So I may have been reading into that. I thought for some reason it was. I've never seen the movie, and for some reason I thought it was Virginia Madison who was in it, but I believe I may be mistaken. So not a callback to that movie.
Do you remember who played a Swamp Thing in that and the original TV series?
Rutger Hauer.
Dick Durock.
I do not remember. That's the fact of it.
That part I can remember.
Anyway, Swamp Thing saves her, brings her back, And then Swamp Thing finally, after all this time, he's like, hey, Abby, let me use my vine powers. I'm going to tap into the trees, and we're finally going to see and show the audience what happened to the daughter when she died finally.
Yeah.
Finally, we're going to see what actually happened.
We've been waiting to see what happened. Now, let me ask you this, and I know what the answer is. It's a bit of a leading question. When we learn what happened and we see this, does this make any sense to her whole character's thing about her grief and regret that she has, that she's been thinking about, and it's been weighing on her for years and years, and she didn't want to go back home and she's run away? What we learn and what she sees does that make any sense?
It's exactly what I thought they were going to show us. It's literally exactly what I thought I was going to see.
Yeah. So
which is like, oh, a tragic accident.
Yeah. So what it is real quick is two friends, they're teenagers, they're drinking, they go up to the bridge, they're kind of screwing around. Abby pushes her friend. Her friend falls into the water.
I will say this. I did not expect Abby to, because the whole thing is like her friend's like, let's be reckless. We're teens. Yeah. And Abby's like, no, I'm a good girl. I don't be reckless. And then Abby, while she's standing on the bridge waiting to like jump off, Abby pushes her off as a joke.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, wow, that's what killed her, was Abby actually pushing her off. That, like, I didn't think they'd go there, but that's actually good motivation. But then like the friend just pops up and says, just joking. I'm fine. Yeah, Join me down here.
Same. They ruined it.
Right,
it could have been a thing where it was like she actually did do something. Like it was an innocent teenager thing where you did something dumb and there's horrible repercussions for it. It could have been that.
Absolutely.
But instead they were like, no, she's fine. And you're like, oh.
And then Abby jumps in after her and they splash around, have a nice time. And then she randomly drowns when they imply some evil force pulls her under the water. I'm like, so it's really like literally nothing to do with you.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, and she sees this happening that like, even if she doesn't think it's a monster or a benevolent force of evil something spirit, she sees her friend getting pulled at the very least by an undertow or something.
Alligator.
Yeah, and she like, why would you blame yourself for getting her wet? Like it doesn't make any sense.
It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy for sure.
Of course it is.
But it's not none of it is your fault. And I mean, I get it, like whatever, there's survivor's guilt and stuff, but they're not playing it well. It doesn't make sense to like have everyone blaming her.
It doesn't work, with what we know happened. Everyone kind of blaming her, okay, because if she'd had this fantastical story that she had, and they were all like, she's made this up, if she was like, a monster took her or something, but they don't even do that.
Yeah, it's not even that. I mean, I guess here's the thing. In reality, sure, you know what? I'm sure there's survivor's guilt. These things do happen. People feel badly afterward. These things haunt them. But this is a written television show where you could have had Abby that push kill her. Like, you could have made it Abby's fault. Like, it's within your power to do that, and it is more interesting for that character to have actual guilt and actual remorse for a thing they did. But you still pull that, but, like, they're just pulling the punch because they're like, well, we need the audience to know she's perfect.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, so she made a mistake, and it was a terrible mistake. It's like, but you could still have her have grown and changed from them and have that be something that's always part of her.
Instead, it's like, we can't let the audience think she did anything wrong ever. Like, let's make sure they know it's not her fault. I'm like, hey, well, I wouldn't want a complicated character, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, and also to that point is they've spent so much time seeding this, just like over and over. Her whole character is sort of like
5 episodes, like, Jordan. 5 episodes to get to this.
Just downtrodden, like, oh, you don't understand. I did this terrible thing, and the town hates me.
I knew in episode 1.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, I'll say this: at least it's over.
At least it's over. I also made that same note. I'm like, well, at least it's over. It only took 5 episodes. We don't have to hear about this anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the orphan backstory plotline. Let's move on to the next one. I picked Cassidy, the stuntman actor, as our next plotline to go through.
Okay.
So over the course of the episode, his little adventure is we're sort of reinforcing the same things we've already seen. He doesn't want to be in this town anymore. He kind of like he's trapped here. And we see him like finally he's just like, that's it, I'm getting out of here. Why? There's no explanation as to why he chooses now to do it, but he's just like, they need to show, I guess, why. So he's like, I'm leaving this town finally. I'm packing my bags at my video store and I'm getting out of here. And he like drives right to the edge of town. This is where you drive all night, Jordan. What was the name of this episode?
Yeah, drive all night. You know what? You did it. That's it. That's why. Because he drove all night.
He drives to the edge of town, but when he gets there, he panics and he stops right at the sign that says this is the edge of town.
Yeah.
And he walks up to it and he puts his hand over the border of the town, and his whole hand bursts into blue flames, Jordan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some sort of force keeping him away, and it's having this magical effect on him.
Which is, I guess, a reference to the Blue Devil character he played in the film that made him famous. And in fact, he still has the Blue Devil's mask in his trunk for some reason, which we'll find out more about next episode, this character he played. But Jordan, I never read any of this stuff. Is the Blue Devil a Swamp Thing character?
I don't remember him as such. But again, you'd have to ask someone who's got a better knowledge than I do. But I don't remember him as such.
You've got all those Swamp Things on your bookcase. I've seen them.
I've got all those Swamp Things on my book.
Yeah.
Not this bookcase.
Not this one. Not the one behind you. That's just binders.
That's
binders with spreadsheets inside.
No, don't excite people too much.
But yeah, so it kind of just like we see the actual consequences of like he can't leave the city because literally if he tries to, his body bursts into blue flames.
Yeah.
That's his little plot line.
Mm-hmm.
There's a plot line for the reporter, Liz, who's looking into Avery and the missing bank guy.
Yeah.
And I guess still technically she's sort of looking into the missing Alec guy as well, but mostly bank guy. It turns out Avery owns Liz's dad's swamp bar. So we get a weird scene where Avery makes turtle soup in the swamp bar, which is pretty gross.
And it's like, I'll say, we've said it before, all the like gross stuff and the gore is all really well done and it makes you uncomfortable. It's just everything else is pretty pedestrian. But yeah, this scene I was just like, do I need to watch him actually making this thing?
Butcher a turtle? Yeah, I was like, I don't need to see him butcher a turtle, thank you. I think it is a reference potentially to the old Cannibal Holocaust film where they do that too. But I was like, gross. I don't want to see this. This is disgusting. But why he's there really is he's there to put pressure on Swamp Bar Dad to get his daughter to stop looking into things. But like Liz is there at Swamp Bar anyway because everyone's always where you need them to be.
Yes.
And she basically confronts Avery. And she really tips her hand here. She's just like, hey, Avery, I'm really looking into you because I'm pretty sure you double murdered people. And I was like, oh, wow, you really tipping your hand here.
It's another good point because the dialogue is so weak. All the characters have to explain what is happening, their intentions, and how they feel about the other person because it can't be subtle enough for people to be vague or to be obscuring their feelings like we all do. So yeah, she's just like, I'm a reporter and I'm looking into you because I think you're a bad guy. And he's supposed to be like, essentially this like, you know, he's this business figure, but he's also in some ways this like underlord person who's running, you know, these nefarious things underneath the town. And he's just like, I wouldn't want to mess with me because you know I'm a real bad guy and I'll make things bad for you. And it's like, why would he even say that? Like everyone's just coming out and saying what they need to say. He's like, I'm bad, but you don't want to see how bad I can get. And she's like, I also think you're bad. All right, we'll agree to disagree. I'm like, oh, great. I'm glad this scene happened.
Well, Avery goes to see the sheriff, who I guess they've rekindled their affair in between episodes because we see them like post-coital.
It was weird because there's one scene early on where they're like, they sort of mention it. It might have even been in the last episode where they were like,
we used to have an affair. Yeah,
used to have this affair. And now they're like full on just doing it. And I'm like, oh, so that's back? That wasn't even what they applied. They were just like, we can't go back to the way it was. It's like, yes, we will.
I mean, immediately back to the way it was, apparently. We get a little backstory here that apparently originally Avery was in love with the sheriff, but he picked his sugar mama in the end because Maria was rich, so he's like dumped her for that. I'm just like, I guess that's a story. I guess that's a backstory.
Yeah. It's another thing the show has. Everyone has to have a plot. Everyone has to have a backstory. So it becomes so much because some of the characters can just be there to help, progress someone else's story or have a smaller part. But they're like, no. Everyone needs to have something traumatic happen or something weird or some connection with someone else to make this whole web of lies really complicated. And it's like, I just want to see Swamp Thing kill people in a cool swamp way. And he's like not in this episode at all. Like the scene that Luke mentioned, there's maybe one other scene with Swamp Thing in this whole episode.
I mean, this is where it is the CW show. Like on a good CW show, it's very soap opera. Everybody's connected to everybody in a million tangled ways, right? So this is where they're leaning back into that CW thing, but obviously, I think it's it's a question of what you want out of this show, and like this is very much leaning into the like everybody has to be like romantically involved or have some like toward like relationship, and that's kind of where we're digging into this, and like a lot of backstory, like they used to be lovers, but then he met Maria, and then he left her because there's a sugar mama, but they still are in love because they're star-crossed lovers or something. I'm like, okie dokie, great.
Yeah, and maybe it will pay off in some way, but I bet it won't. It's just gonna be like, doesn't this like really make them three-dimensional characters and really color the world? You're like, I guess not really.
Anyway, Avery, after they have sex, she's like, hey, listen, Sheriff, I need your help to cover up the murder of Alec I did because like the reporter's looking into it. And there's only one witness to Alec's murder, which is some like swamp man. Some guy who just lives by the swamp for some reason. We don't know much about him. He's just like supposed to be some hillbilly. Mm-hmm. And the sheriff goes out there to convince him to stay quiet. But he's like, I'll be quiet if you give me $50,000. So she pulls out her gun and murders him on the spot.
Which, even for a show where everything's a little bit weird, does this make sense with her character at all? We've never seen anything like this from her.
I mean, it's really revealing a new thing about her, that she is ruthlessly cold-blooded and, like, really in Avery's pocket if she's willing to murder someone for it.
So that episode where they got that, like, disease thing where they were passing it from person to person and she was, like, pulling out her gun at everyone, protecting her son, she wasn't even acting funny. She was just acting like herself.
That was normal. That's what she would normally do.
Yeah, she didn't even get the disease.
After that happens, Avery tries to take care of the reporter Liz by sending some goons out to threaten her outside Swamp Bar. So some guys in masks come out, they're like, hey, if you know what's good for you, you gotta leave Avery alone. We got big clubs and like sticks with us. And then Cassidy intervenes, the actor. He's like, what are you two doing? He gets clonked in the head and is basically, they're like, we beat this man into a coma, and they run away.
It's like, these are the best guys he hired. He just hired these dudes who, like, I don't know. Also, and I don't know if you mean ruthless or anything here. They still could have gone after her, too. Like, they hit him down, and they're like, I'm like, well, at least finish the job. You're here for attacking her.
Well, I think they were just there to threaten her, and then they got carried away with the other guy. But nonetheless, it is funny, too, because Avery hires a lot of goons in this small town. It does feel like most of the people in the small town at some point have gooned for Avery at this point.
Terrible expression, but yes.
All right, Jordan. Final plot. The smallest plot. Swamp Thing's plot.
Ugh. So disappointed.
Anyway, and you'll have to tell me, maybe, is this a character from the Swamp Thing comics? A mysterious, quote, phantom stranger comes out of the swamp to tell Swamp Thing that he can tap into the memories of trees, or as it's known here, the green.
Yeah, I also don't know of this character at all, and I'll be honest, I know it's from the actor, what's his name, Macon or Macon?
Macon Blair, yeah. He's an indie darling actor and winner of a Sundance Award at some point.
Yeah, Blue Ruin.
Yeah, great guy, great. I was happy to see him.
Good actor. I recognized him, and he's also, we didn't mention, in the 90210 Boys plot line, he's also in that one.
That's next episode.
Oh, that's the next episode. He's in it. He's in both episodes as this person. Yeah, but I actually kind of find this a little bit interesting because I don't think he's supposed to be an actual person. I think he's like...
Yeah, no.
He's a memory or a spirit or something. He sees
Swamp Thing and he's just like, hey, let me guide you. I'm going to be your spiritual mentor in the swamp as you like transition into Swamp Thing.
Yeah, and he basically is like, you don't really realize the abilities you have that are not even physical. They're these abilities to, teleport yourself to different times and places and see things through nature and the trees that were there and all. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. It was like they didn't quite get into it and they didn't delve as deep as they thought. Not that you have to have this
one
super
scene.
esoteric
it's basically
episode,
one scene.
but it's like one scene. And I was like, oh, and I don't know how you felt, but I'm like, this is the most interesting part of it. Like I could have spent the whole episode as almost like a bottle episode with Swamp Thing and this phantom stranger who he doesn't know who he is, but he's sort of like, I'm so out of whack with my own body and who I am that I'm just going to follow this guy because he's showing me stuff. Like, I'm like, that's interesting. More interesting than Avery and the police officer having sex for no reason.
Not no reason. They're star-crossed lovers.
Okay, well, because they're star-crossed lovers. And do you disagree?
I don't disagree. I mean, it was interesting to have this kind of is he good? Is he bad? This weird stranger come out immediately, like, sees Swamp Thing. He's just a human being, and he's like, hey, Swamp Thing, I've been looking for you. Got some stuff to show you. He introduces the concept of the green, finally. It's labeled as the green, and maybe starts, like, time to investigate what you can do, but it is mostly a tease as to what might come later. Really, the most we get to it is at the end of the episode when Swamp Thing shows Abby her true backstory.
Yeah.
That is him tapping into the green. He like understands how to use it now. But that's the most we don't really see how or why or any of that stuff. The idea is just that this mysterious person has appeared to guide Swamp Thing.
It's just funny, and maybe it comes to your point of trying to fit a round cube into a square peg, or the vice versa. But this idea of this horror show on the CW, if that is what some of these challenges are, but like of all the plot lines, they've like, what's the most interesting one, and what's the one that actually seems to make sense to the character and will drive his personal journey forward? It's like, let's give that literally 2 scenes and then spend all the time on all the other characters that I don't have a problem with some of these. Like, I don't care about 90210 Boy. He's fine. But like, I wasn't wondering why he was in town. I didn't care. I didn't care about Avery's past sex life. I didn't need to see like 5 minutes of him making turtle soup. It's like, why are you guys spending time on this stuff?
Well, Jordan, I forgot there's actually one last plot line we haven't covered because there's one more character, Dr. Woodrow.
Oh man, I forgot.
He overhears Abby researching her Swamp Thing sample and its regenerative properties. So in this episode, he wants his own sample. So he goes to Swamp Lab, finds a sample of Swamp Thing, starts working on it, and then he tells Avery about it. He's just like, listen, there's some sort of Swamp Thing out there in the swamp. I need you to go capture it alive for me. And that's how the episode ends.
Yeah, that's right. It's because he's always looking into the magical microscope. Everyone looks into a microscope, and he gives them all the answers they need.
That's all you need is science.
Yeah, science. That's right. He looked at the microscope and saw science.
All right, here's the IMDb summary for episode 6. The Price You Pay. Is that a Springsteen song?
No, it's not. For once.
It'd be great if I could have someone here in Murray, someone I could trust, who could make themselves available.
What are you looking for, just another stuntman?
No. You'd play a different role. After this movie, of course.
Daniel recalls his deal. Sutherland sends men after the swamp creature, and Woodrow makes a breakthrough discovery.
Let me just make one quick comment, because I made a little snarky comment about the acting at the beginning. It's all in fun, everyone. It's all in fun. So there's something I thought of, though. It just happened this week. I was driving to work, and I was listening to an audiobook, and it was, what's his face? It was Train Dreams by Dennis Johnson. And I was listening to this book, and it's a nice book, and I realized whose narrator of it was Will Patton, and who plays Sunderland, and he's so good, and he just evokes so much personality and feeling, and it was just such a great narrator, and I just thought, oh, it's just because this material is so good, and then you have like, nothing against, I like him as an actor, but like, he doesn't stand out in this. If you saw him on this, you wouldn't be like, oh man, he's a great actor. And you listen to an audiobook and you're like, wow, he can bring so much to text, and it's just a funny thing so I apologize to all the actors, because I know they're really saddled with, of all the shows we've seen, maybe some of the worst dialogue we've seen. Like, it's really, really rough. And like, it's the worst part of the show. And like, they must be just struggling to get through it.
I mean, it is what it is. You just gotta work with what you're given. But I mean, I think we can forgive a lot of just like, well, I gotta say all this stuff and explain all my motivations.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to hear that you're still keeping up your favorite hobby of film tie-in adaptation novels. Ghostbusters novel, Train Dreams novel.
It's just one of those things I've been meaning to listen to. And it's always funny when it takes me so long by the time the movies now come out before I get to it.
There's actually a YouTube channel that I've got it bookmarked. I never listened to it, called Audiobooks of the Damned. And what it is, they've made audiobooks out of the novels that are based on movies. So like Ghostbusters, Gremlins,
right.
All those like tie-in novels. So someone's done audiobooks of all of them. And I find that it was like a very funny idea, but I have not listened to it. Anyway, let's talk about Swamp Thing.
I'll just say one last thing. I remember being a kid and reading the novelization of the Mario Brothers movie.
Amazing. Love that movie. All right. Let's get back to Swamp Thing.
Okay.
The first plot we'll cover, let's start with Swamp Thing, because that's the core to this one, I think, is the Swamp
Yeah.
Thing's more or less. I mean, maybe not the core, actually, but one of the major plot lines. Starts with some hunters. They're out in the swamp. This one, I couldn't believe how fast this one moved. Like,
Yeah.
Woodrow asked to get Swamp Thing caught, and the next episode it's starting with hunters. Avery's hired to go get Swamp Thing with, like, blowgun, the darts, like, whatever they've got. Like,
Much better pacing, more action, more like stuff happening as opposed to people talking.
Yeah. So they're tranq gunning Swamp Thing. Shocker of shockers, tranquilizers don't work on Swamp Thing. Yeah. But Swamp Thing, to fight back, starts punching trees, and when he punches a tree, it shoots like a shotgun blast of splinters out, and like starts like blasting the hunters with like splinters. And I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
this is his power.
It was a cool thing because like I would never have thought of that. I actually, it's interesting you said he hit them. I actually thought he was just grabbing the trees. Either way, it shoots out. You're right, sort of like
he punches like the trunk of a tree, and then just splinters shoot out.
Yeah, they shoot it, and it's like it's so immediately the hunters all start running around, but a couple of them get hit by these splinters, and one guy gets it like full in the face. Like
Yeah.
Like 100 of them right in the face, and it's gruesome, and it's like really fun.
The hunters go to the hospital, and when they arrive there, they're shouting about a swamp monster out in the woods, and Abby's there at the hospital because, as you said, everyone's always where they need to be. She's checking up on Cassidy, who's been in that coma since the beating, and she hears all this stuff. She's like, "What's this? The swamp monster? That must be my Swamp Thing friend." And she's like, Those guys. Her friend Liz is like, "You got to be careful of Avery. He put Cassidy in a coma, and I bet you he sent those guys out there." So Abby goes and confronts Avery in the hospital because he's also there because everyone's always where they need to be. He confronts Avery, and she's like, "I can't believe you're evil, Avery." And I'm just like, "What do you mean you can't believe he's evil?"
Yeah, she's like, "I can't believe
She's like
you're
the
evil."
last to find out. She's like the last to find out.
Yeah, and he's like, "I'm not evil," and then she's like, "I think you are evil," and he's like, "I wouldn't cross me because I'm evil." I was like,
Yeah, I know.
Well, okay.
So I'm like, okay, sure. But that's sort of the kickoff to that.
Yeah. Can I ask one thing? I can't remember. Why is Abby still here? The original disease that she was called in for is gone now.
They bring that up this episode. They say the CDC has left, but you're still here. And she's like, "Yep." And I'm like, they don't explain why. They're just kind of like, they bring up the fact that like it doesn't make any sense. It was like, the CDC left a while ago. Why are you still here? She's like, I still got some stuff to look into. It's Swamp Thing is the answer. She's looking into Swamp Thing.
It's a funny thing though, because they decided that she was part of the CDC and that she's sent back for the specific thing. But I'm like, why did you make a thing that you were going to wrap up in a couple episodes? Or why didn't you come up with another reason?
They didn't know when they started writing.
It's really odd. Like I'm like, you could have come up with something else why she's in town. She also she didn't have to be the local doctor. She could happen to have a medical license and is pulled into this thing because there's stuff, and that's how she starts meeting these characters. But like, why did you put a timeline on it?
I don't know. I mean, the reason she's staying is because of Swamp Thing and Alec is because she knows he's out there now.
Well, they had a romantic 12 hours together, which they mention all the time and have flashbacks to it as if they spent months together.
But they do bring up in one of these episodes where it's like, hey, didn't the CDC leave a while ago? And I was like, I'm glad someone mentioned it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Meanwhile, these hunters have come in. Swamp Thing's punched splinters at them. The sheriff, who just killed that witness last episode, makes a big reveal at the office to her son, Matt. Like, the sheriff's like talking to Matt, and she's just like, hey, I killed this guy in the woods yesterday. And you know why? It's because, Matt, I know you killed Alec that night. And I'm just like, what? Matt was the one who killed Alec?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because I was really confused because the whole thing is really like, she's like, I'll do anything for you. I'll even kill for you. I'll jeopardize my career for you, anything. And he's like, I know you will, Mom. And I was like, he didn't kill Alec. And also, why did she think? Because like she's like, oh, because you were on the boat and this explosion and all that. I'm like, so?
No, but he did kill Alec. He says he killed Alec. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I killed Alec because Avery came to me and said, kill Alec or I'm going to expose all this dirt I have on your mom because I've been using her to do like my dirty deeds for years. I've got a file on her. That. So yeah, no, Matt killed Alec and then his mom killed this other guy because he might have seen Matt on the boat. So it's all like because like Avery's like manipulating the whole family or something.
I'll be honest, I still don't even really know what Avery's plan is. Like, there's a whole other thing in this episode with the sample and stuff they took. I'm like, was that his plan the whole time? I don't know if that makes sense with everything else we've seen.
I don't know. But it also goes to show, like, so many people work for Avery in the town that I'm just like, who wouldn't know about what he's doing?
It's true. It's very true.
Anyway, so that's the big reveal here, is that Matt killed Alec, and that so it's all his fault that he's Swamp Monster now. And then basically they have this fight. Matt gets assigned to go look into the Swamp Monster that attacked those people. We cut to the swamp. Abby's in the swamp looking for Swamp Thing to make sure he's okay after the attack. She bumps into Matt in the swamp, who's also looking for the Swamp Monster. Swamp Thing appears, attacks Matt, but Abby breaks it up. And thankfully for Matt, Swamp Thing doesn't seem to remember that Matt's the one who killed him. There's like an awkward scene where he's just like, I remember you. And Matt's like, uh-oh. It's like, you were in that flashback I had where Abby had a friend.
Yeah, that's right.
And Matt's like, phew, I guess I got away with it.
Yeah, Swamp Thing's powers are pretty limited in scope.
Anyway, they're all going to now team up together to work together and like also extend the idea of this love triangle between the three of them.
Yeah. Also, is this, of all the plot lines, that love triangle thing? It's like, man, no one's invested in that.
It is. I know it is not really working. And then this episode wraps up like a lot. There's a lot of more episodes like this kind of stuff happens. Swamp Thing goes away for a long time. At the very end of the episode, Swamp Thing comes back to give you a little bit of information about the Phantom Stranger and the Green, in that like he's a heart-to-heart with Abby where he says he's changing, the being with the Green is changing him.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, through no doing of his own, he opens his hand and a flower grows out of it. And then that flower starts shooting pollen off, and Abby's like, what's happening? Something's like, I don't know. And then the pollen floats into her eyes, and when she looks back, Swamp Thing looks like Alec again. End of episode.
Yeah.
They had to find a way to bring that actor back. So they're like,
I know.
Alec.
It's we didn't mention in the last episode, there's like another like video scene and stuff where you see him recording and stuff again. Like, it's like they really have to like shoehorn in like some reasons to have this poor actor in it. And like maybe there's some interesting thing they're going to play with later where it's like, you know, it's this thing where they're like falling in love, but he, you know, it's a Beauty and the Beast thing. He's hideous and he's a monster now, but she's seeing what he actually is or how she remembers him through this thing. But in reality,
for sure. The
know.
pollen is just giving her hallucinations, so he looks like Alex again, so they can talk. 100%.
Yeah.
He didn't turn back into Alec. That's not
no,
what
I
they're
know
going to show
that.
next episode.
But I mean, it's like I don't think there's going to be any huge surprises here. But it is funny. I'm like, I just hope there's a different weird Swamp Thing way that he keeps bringing back Alec. He'll also like look into the water and see his reflection, and then he'll also have a dream that he's Alex. Oh wait, he's already done that. He's already had the dream.
I mean, honestly, every time I see the actor who plays Alec, I'm just like, man, what a great gig. You're in the title credits. You're for sure getting paid really good, and you do one scene a week. So like the rest of your time is yours.
Yeah, top billing.
I was like, this is a great job. This is a great job for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's the end of the Swamp Thing plot line. Flower grew out of his hand, and he turned back into Alec. We'll go to the other plot line. The other core plot line is Cassidy's coma.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me, is basically an origin story for a character 6 episodes into the series. There's only 10 episodes, and we're getting 6 in. We're getting a new origin story.
Yeah. So basically, he was injured so badly that he has brain damage. They think he's not going to make it. Jason, the doctor, for reasons, injects part of like something he's synthesized off of the leaf he's taken from Swamp Thing. He injects it into his like IV, and it somehow miraculously heals him. And so he thinks he's come up with a master cure that will conceivably be this huge thing for mankind, because they might have this new cure for, you know, essentially like a cure-all for everything.
Yeah. Basically, his idea of finding this thing comes true because of the Swamp Thing venom he made or whatever.
Regenerative abilities of the leaf.
But what's really important here is that while he's in his coma, Cassidy has dreams about his past where he recalls the pact he made that got him stuck in this town all those years ago.
Is that right? I don't remember. Remind me.
So we see a flashback while he's in his coma. He's a stuntman. He's shooting on the Blue Devil movie set. The lead actor is a huge pain in the ass, and he's not getting along well. And Cassidy's sitting to the side, wishing to himself that he could be the star of the movie.
That's right.
When who should walk out of the swamp but the Phantom Stranger dressed in a suit?
Mm-hmm.
And the Phantom Stranger sits down with him. Cassidy immediately assumes this is some bigwig executive from the studio.
Yeah.
And basically, the Phantom Stranger makes some vague indications that, like, I could get you the job you want, Cassidy. All you have to do is stay in this town and help someone I won't define at this moment at some future date.
Not his voice, but good.
And Cassidy's like, I wish I could be the star. And then he's like, well, who knows what'll happen? I've got to go now. And Phantom Stranger walks off. And as soon as he walks off camera, the producer comes up. He's like, hey, Cassidy, we're fired that actor, and you're going to be the star. And he's like, yes.
Because I'll tell you, that's how things work. You know, we fired someone, and this guy who's sitting here, hey, he knows all the lines. We don't want to miss a second of our filming day. So he's got to go ready to go. But that's what happens, and that was how we got his big break. Somehow the Phantom Stranger's also involved.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is he good? Is he bad?
But you know what? Like, there's supposed to be this, like, either, like, you know, it's like monkey paw thing or like pact with the devil sort of thing. I'm like, but he didn't really. It wasn't like he was like, I will do anything. I'll sell my soul. I'll kill someone to get where I need to get. He's just like, wouldn't you like to be the star of the movie? He's like, yeah, wouldn't I? That's it. And then it's like, he's stuck in town forever. I'm like, would you like a second slice of pie? Wahaha, you're stuck in town forever. It's like, well, that's not really fair.
I mean, it is true. It's not like he made him a clear pact or offer as to what he had to do. It's just kind of like he kind of was just like, wouldn't you like to be the star of this? He's like, yeah, I would. He's like, well, if you're the star, I might need some help one day. He's like, I guess so. And I'm like, that's not really like, it seems very underhanded.
Yeah, so it's like, it seems a little unfair to him, which I'm sure he feels as well. But now he's stuck in the town, and if he tries to get out, he gets all blue fire. But don't worry, because he has now been healed, and don't worry, there is no side effects.
No side effects, yes. The regeneration brings him out of the coma, but when you touch him now, he's freezing to the touch. You can't touch his body. He's too cold.
Yeah.
Woodrow is excited, though. He's like, I created my super cure. He finds Avery. It's like, yo, we got it. That's what happens. He calls Avery up on the phone. He's just like, Avery, I did it. I created the super cure. I was doing it. He's like, he doesn't bring up that the man ran out of the hospital into the swamp. He's just like, I did it.
He jumps the gun a little bit.
I did it. I created a super thing. I'm all over the place. So I apologize, everyone. His wife, Woodrow's wife or partner, overhears him on the phone telling this to Avery what he did, like unsanctioned human testing of a thing he just invented like 4 seconds ago in the lab.
Yeah. She
comes in. She's just like, I know I'm sick, but I can't believe you did that. It's so unethical. It's going to cost you your job at the university. I was like, it's weird that that's what you're worried about. Not the person, but like his job at the university. Sure. She gives him this big speech about, we got to get out of town. We can't stay here. It's corrupting who you are. We got to go. And then Woodrow's just like, I know, baby, but like, I just really wanted to try to do something. She's like, okay, never mind. We can stay. Like, she gives up. So like he didn't even make a case for himself. She's just like, oh, that big speech I just gave you, never mind. I'm going back to bed. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. This is where I felt bad for the actress. Where I'm just like, she's just like giving this big performance about like, you know, morals and ethics and stuff. And then he gives a non-response. And she's like, oh, in that case, I'm like, it's so hard to play these parts where you just have to like turn on a dime with no feedback.
Yeah. It's because they just need to get to the next scene, right? And it's like, he tells Avery that he's got this like amazing discovery. Avery's like, you write it up tonight. I'm going to call the investors. We're going to get this thing going. I'm like, they're just like, you don't even know what it is. Like, it's so funny. They're just like, it's the best thing ever. Like, what does it do? We don't know, but get ready to make millions of them. So that's what he starts doing. He's like, I got to go write my report.
Anyway, Cassidy, for whatever reason, knows where Dr. Woodrow lives in town because he's staying at this nice house. He drops by and is like, yo, you need to help me. I'm in constant pain now. I'm in constant pain. Avery appears out of nowhere with a shotgun and starts blasting him. Yeah. But it doesn't hurt him because I guess whatever he's, you know, the regeneration is so good at like he can't be hurt now. And they're like, what do we do now? At which point Woodrow's wife jumps out of nowhere and like stabs him with like a syringe. So he's like anesthetized. He passes out and it ends with Cassidy back in a medically induced coma. And then like Madame Xanadu drops by and she's like, I can't stop your destiny, but at least I can use my psychic powers to relieve your pain. And she like touches his brain and I guess his pain is gone.
Yeah. Well, he had like this, he still had this blue aura on him.
He was about to burst into blue flames. Yeah.
And so she took that from him. She has that ability.
And that's what it seems like is happening here. Is like they're setting up an origin story for a new character who's going to be like a blue flame guy who, I don't know, will he team up with Swamp Thing? Will he fight something? I'm not sure. But it's like, it's so long to set up a new superhero character, to wait 6 episodes and then like do an entire origin story for him midway through the season. It was crazy to me.
But I have a feeling we're not going to see him in like full force by the end of this. I think they don't have enough episodes.
I mean, there's only 4 left. It's crazy. There's only 4 left. How are they going to get him out? I'm not sure. But, I mean, will we find out, Jordan? Because it's time to rate these episodes.
I know.
2 episodes, Jordan. Drive All Night and The Price You Pay.
Yeah, first episode, in some ways it was like, it's a weird thing to say. In terms of watchability, it was fine. I know you don't feel the same way, but it was so erratic. And it's just like, it was so many plots, and plots I didn't care about. It might be the worst episode, I think. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10, wow. Well, Jordan, it's not a great episode.
No.
There's so many plot lines going on. That, I had to break it into 6 separate non-intersecting plot lines. Like, it's scattered. It's erratic. Swamp Thing's barely in it. I don't know, man. This show is not working for me at all. I know you're enjoying it, but it's not working for me really. But I did get a text message, and I'm gonna read it to you. It said, "I know it probably won't happen, but I hope we don't escape pod out of Swamp Thing, so we just finish it as it's only 10 episodes." And you know what, Jordan? That text message really affected me. It came from a good friend of mine who you know what? I don't want him to be sad. If he wants to watch all of Swamp Thing, a certain good friend, co-host of mine. So you know what I think of Swamp Thing? Ride All Night, Drive All Night.
What do you
I think it's 10. It's worth 10 points. That's a 10. It's a full 10.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're probably right. You know what? I think it might also be a 10.
Now, what do you think of the price you pay?
Well, originally I was gonna say it's probably about a 5 out of 10, but I think it may be maybe an 8 out of 10.
You think it's originally it was about a 5, but it's an 8 now. You think? Huh?
I think it's an 8 out of 10. Yeah.
Well, I hated it. It was really stupid. I can't believe they did an origin story.
Yeah, it's bad.
As I said, I can't believe that's what they did. Again, very minor Swamp Thing stuff going on. The reveal that Matt killed Alec is coming really late. It'd be okay, I guess, but we're also, I don't know, man. This show's a mess to me. 10 out of 10.
Oh man, it's really pulling it up.
10 out of 10. Because you know what? You know what's more important than Swamp Thing, Jordan?
What's that?
That I love my co-host.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Well, here's the thing. It's only 10 episodes, and I feel like I'll regret it if we miss those 2, you know?
If we escape pod now and miss those 3 episodes
yeah,
toward
that's
the end.
right. Yeah.
Well, Jordan, it is time to check the escape pod. So let me pull it
still
open
pretty close.
And see what the scores are. So just to give you some context, Jordan, and also the listener, we've only watched 4 episodes so far of the show.
Yeah.
And the overall series rating at 4 episodes is 4.8.
Oh wow!
So now let's see with the full 6 episode scores. Then let's see what we've got now, Jordan.
This is a first. We're really cooking the books.
Cooking the books for this one. All right, Jordan. I'm gonna keep your true score of 5 over the 8 in this anyway. Just to keep it somewhat on the level. Even if we are cooking the books. But the current series average with that last round of scores is 5.67.
Woo!
We're staying in. We're staying in Swamp Thing for another round. We'll get to the next. You'll get to see episodes where we're going to be 7 and 8.
Yeah.
We'll keep going on Swamp Thing. Assuming nothing goes wrong, next episode.
Yeah.
You'll get to see all of the Swamp Thing episodes.
All the Swamp Thing episodes. It's a complete series, you know? You'll also feel like you haven't showered after being in the swamp.
I mean, I definitely already feel that way.
And you know what? What a kind friend that Luke is to suffer through an extra, essentially, hour and a half of this.
Yeah, my ratings for this go crazy. I don't think I go above a 4 at any point. It's 4s and 3s, and it's only 2 10s. I must love this show.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan, that'll wrap it up for this round of Swamp Thing. We'll be back for more next week. No escape pod. Not next week, whenever we get back to this. But in the meantime, listener, if you want to give Swamp Thing 10, you can email us at continuumdrag@gmail.com. Run those numbers up. Let's get them higher. And, of course, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Blue Sky will have clips from Swamp Thing, him punching trees, the guy turning into a blue flame hand, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You can find that at our handle, @ContinuumDrag, on all our social media platforms. But that wraps it up for this episode. We'll be back for more Swamp Thing soon. And until then, thank you for joining us. And Jordan, I'll see you on the next one.
I hear that Swamp Hog's also a 10. Huh?
Can't get enough Continuum Drag? Commission a bonus episode for charity.
Want us to watch an episode we missed after using the escape pod or during a best of run? No problem.
Is there an episode of a series we've never watched or a TV movie you want us to cover? You got it.
Wish we'd comment on your favorite movie, content, or other weird media? Sure, why not?
All you have to do is make a donation to one of the charities selected by past guests on our website.
We suggest a donation of $50 per television hour of content we're watching, but everyone's means are different, so give what you can.
Get all the details about bonus episodes for charity on our website, continuumdrag.podbean.com, or follow the links in our social media profiles.
Continuum Drag is recorded in Ontario, Canada, and Seoul, South Korea. Theme music by James Rick Seidler, produced by Jordan Dullock and Luke Black. Special thanks to Aaron Hughes.